Hey guys, it is Friday here in West Virginia, so it's time for us to do a Free It Friday video. And we have a variety for you. We have a couple Mopars and a Ford from the same movie franchise, Terminator. All the vehicles are from Greenlight. And we'll start with the second movie first and then go to the first movie. We're kind of doing it backwards, because the car we're going to unbox first will fit perfectly in this diorama. It is the beat up, dirty 1979 Ford LTD Country Squire that Arnold stole for John and his mother. And I for the life of me, I cannot remember her name, and I just watched the movie the other week. But anyways, this car is pretty accurate, except for the wheels. The wheels look a little bit off because they are the steel rims, but they have the cap over the lug nuts, and it's all black. That's the only thing I could say that may be a little bit off. It should have just had steel rims with the lugs exposed. But I cannot remember. It's been a while since I watched the second one. The one that I watched just a few weeks ago was the first one. But anyways, other than that, the car looks pretty accurate. It may have a little bit more patina on it than the original did, like with the paint peeling on the roof and hood and such. But I don't know. Maybe it's showing some like battle damage or something. But yeah, it does look pretty good. Let's go ahead and get it out and take a look at it. And the card art, or blister pack art, however you want to call it, looks pretty good with the Terminator robot there and Terminator 2 Judgment Day. And on the back, they do give a little write-up here. So in the sequel set, 11 years after the Terminator, young John Connor, let's see, it's hard to read that kind of writing. Edward Furlong, okay, the actor's name. The key to civilization victory over a future robot uprising is the target of the shape-shifting T-1000, Robert Patrick, a Terminator sent from the future to kill him. Another Terminator, the revamped T-800, Arnold Schwarzenegger, has been sent back to protect the boy as John and his mother, Linda Hamilton. See, they don't even tell you her name here. They just tell the name of the actress, Linda Hamilton. Go on the run with the T-800. The boy forms an unexpected bond with the robot. So, yeah, they don't even tell me the name of the actress. Or they told me the name of the actress, but not the name that they used in the movie. And anyways, I guess it didn't come up very often because she was always referred to as Mom from John. So that's it. The first one, I think her name would have been mentioned quite a bit because John was not yet born. So here is the wagon out of the package. And as I said, on top, it looks good for the patina, like in the junkyard, because paint peeling off the top. And the dingy looking roof rack and all the dirt everywhere, rust starting to form on the corner of the rear doors, rocker, some on the lower quarter panel, and it's dirty everywhere with the front bumper, grill. The hoods do not open on this casting. The tailgates do, but they're very hard to get open sometimes. And I know, like, one of them that I had, it was the Oldsmobile, actually. The hinges broke when I tried to pull it down, so I just leave it alone. But yeah, that's the one thing that is cool. They have a working tailgate, but it does not function too well. So it opens, but at your own risk. And I don't know, it looks like the rear bumper is sagging. It was probably just part of the casting where the opening is not casted right. That's something of Greenlight. Yeah, as you can see, it looks like the gap and everything's fine with the rear window, but down here, the gap between the tailgate and the body itself is way off, and that is a flaw in the casting, but it is kind of cool. It makes it look like the bumper is sagging on the back. So that's not a bad thing for me because it's going to go in my junkyard. So it actually looks better yet to be in the junkyard. This side doesn't have as much rust as the other side, but it is not rusted too badly even on that side. The base of these cars is very, I don't know, primitive when it comes to detail. It's very flat. There's not a lot of contours or anything on it. A little detail with the driveline and exhaust, but yeah, it just looks cheap, in my opinion. Even the Oldsmobile and the uh, satellite wagons are like that too. And the castings are light. They don't feel as heavy as like the Auto World wagons. But still yet a cool car to add to the diorama. Now, the one that I really, really wanted and have been searching for a long time, because I got it one time when it was brand new in the Philippines, and I sold it before I left there. And that is the Hitch and Tow set. And the reason I wanted it is for this guy right here, that Ram Charger. The 1977 Dodge Ram Charger police truck. And it's just really hard to find this set nowadays. I was finding the Green Machine version of it easier than the regular version. It just seems like the people that have gotten this do not want to get rid of it. And these Ram Chargers have a tendency to be hard to get. Some variants, I just occasionally find one pop up every now and then at a decent price. A lot of them you can find, but people want big money for them, especially like the Black Bandit Ram Charger and the blue, the two-tone blue Trail Duster. I don't know why they're asking big money for them. I don't think it's pulling big money, but they're hard to find. So anyways, it comes with the Monaco, which is pretty easy to find. You can find them single packed. I think this has been released twice already, and they're not very expensive. You can probably find them for like $5-6 on eBay. You still may even be able to find them on the pegs at some Hobby Lobbies, maybe. But pretty cool set. That's the vehicle that was actually in the movie. The Ram Charger was not, but it could have been. It's era correct, the right year and such. So I'm going to go ahead and get it open. I cut around the bottom, or around the back seam, so we can just flip it up and then pull everything out. And then we will get the car out first, then get the truck out, and then the trailer. We'll just leave the trailer jack and ramps in there. But this is the one thing I want to do a comparison on one day, is the comparison of the M2 trailers versus the Greenlight versus the Johnny Lightning one, if I can get my hands on a Johnny Lightning. The Johnny Lightning ones are the same as the Auto World. They share that trailer. But yeah, I think Greenlight has the best trailer on the market. The fenders are not inside here where M2 does that, and it blocks the car. It's not wide enough for some cars. This trailer, however, from Greenlight would fit most cars, unless it's like an H1 Hummer that's true to scale or something like that. But for the most part, every car will fit on here. And it's made of metal, and it's even like solid on the bottom. It's not just like braces going across. The insert here of the wood is plastic, and it's actually better that they did it, because it's actually has the lines in it and stuff for the wood grain. It's very, very realistic. So they do a really nice job, and their trailer jacks are true, like, scale to fit the trailer, unlike M2's. But M2 has fixed that. On the yellow one from the set that I unboxed the other day with the Power Wagon and the CUDA, that trailer jack was pretty much spot on for 1/64th, and it fit the trailer pretty good. I may not be spot on for 1/64th. It's still maybe a tad bit big, but not bad. But back to the Greenlight stuff. Now, here's the Ram Charger. Very cool truck. Has the black stillies with the chrome police caps. Has a push bar with 2 fog lamps in the center. Your light bar, removable top. And has the beige interior, which is really cool. Breaks it up a little bit, adds more detail to have it instead of a black interior. And you have your spare tire. mounted on the swinging bracket, but the swinging bracket does not actually work. And the base on these are a little bit better than the wagons, and it looks really good. And as you can see, these little holes, they're not really holes, but that's the little, I don't know what to call them, just marks, holes where they put the lifted suspension into. That's why sometimes when you get the Ram Chargers that are lifted, it may be off a little bit, like the track of the truck maybe like turned a little, because they use this existing chassis and just add pieces to it. It's a cost saver, I admit that, but it does add room for error when they mount them. There's only 3 lifted Ram Chargers that I can think of. I've got 2 of them. The off-road one that's like South Point or something, red, white, and blue, and then there's the orange outdoors one with the tent on the roof. And there's a white one that I do not have with some striping on the side from the all-terrain series. But yeah, when you get those, it's best to try to get them in person or buy them loose, because of the fact that sometimes those external like add-on pieces are not on there good. But this thing looks great. Very happy to finally have it in my collection. As I said, that was the main reason I bought that hitch and tow set, but I will probably hang on to the Monaco and the trailer, definitely the trailer, because it can be used in a lot of different dioramas and pics that I take for Instagram. And this car seems it has a paint flaw here on the quarter panel. That's okay. Yeah, this will probably hang on to. It's a cool, traditional looking cop car, black and white, old Monaco from the late 70s. Pretty cool. And it's another case. Actually, this one does have an opening hood. Just to try. There we go. Oh, that was easy, actually. A lot easier than I thought it would be. And the engine's pretty big in this thing. If anything, maybe too big. Greenlight used to have a problem with too small of engines, but this thing looks like it may be a little bit too big. That's very, very wide and flat looking. But, hey, it's better than being too small, I think. And no one can really beat Auto World's engine detail. Their engine detail is out of this world, like for 1/64th, in my opinion, for the price bracket. They do an outstanding job. So anyways, guys, that's it for our unboxing today. Our Terminator trifecta, I guess. But yeah, it's probably not the right word to use for these. But anyways, that's all for our Free Friday. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and we will be back on Monday for our Mopar Monday, unless something else exciting comes up over the weekend and I got to show it to you guys. That's why it's good to turn on your notification bell so you know when I do launch those surprise videos. So we will talk to you soon. Have a nice weekend.